Inside look at George Lucas's $1 billion Skywalker Ranch. George Lucas is the creator of distant galaxies, of Death Stars, Jedi Knights, droids, Wookiees, frog-headed aliens, and bossy, recalcitrant princesses. But when George Lucas sets out to design a utopian planet for himself and his company, Lucasfilm, deep in the heart of Northern California's Marin County, Skywalker Ranch, the force turns out to be Victorian. Today, we are going to take an inside look at George Lucas's $1 billion Skywalker Ranch. So without further ado, let's get into it. When it comes to filmmaking, George Lucas is a tremendously passionate individual, and his devotion is beautifully represented in his ownership of a vast ranch, which he has altered for the benefit of filming in an exceedingly efficient manner. Construction on this 5,000-acre ranch began in 1978. Skywalker Ranch, which is located in the city of San Rafael in the state of California and is built in an isolated area, is where he intends to build his empire. Surprisingly, this area was not named until after George Lucas purchased the property. It is located off Lucas Valley Road, which is an ironic twist to this story. George may have thought this place lovely and delightful because it was named after a rancher named John Lucas who lived in the area approximately 2 centuries ago. But it is probable that this was one of the reasons he found it so lovable and delightful. Because the location is primarily a ranch, it is not unusual to find a barn full of all types of fauna and animals. A beautiful orchard can be found on the property, but if you want to get away from all of the natural beauty, this ranch also has its own swimming pool as well as a gym, which is also on the property. The ranch is a 14-building complex presided over by a huge, turreted cream-white Victorian-style home built in 1985. This property has a lot of man-made elements, in addition to an underground parking garage, a large theater, and an artificially constructed lake. This area has been developed into a fully fledged lake. George Lucas has found various innovative ways to use this vast property, one of which is establishing it as his headquarters. This does not suggest that he lives here, but rather that he has persuaded many of his staff to come and work in this wonderful setting. They have their own police force, and due to the vast expanse of the territory, they even have their own fire station. If you ever find yourself in the neighborhood, be sure to stop by their store, which is stocked with a variety of goods. A bed and breakfast. Skywalker Ranch offers a number of different options for guests to choose from. If you have enough money and are waiting on a film project, you can rent out a portion of the site and stay in one of the cabins while you are there. If it sounds too pricey, you may always stay at the motel on the premises or at the nearby bed and breakfast establishment. This 26-room facility is named after legendary entertainers who are held in high regard by George Lucas, such as Akira Kurosawa and George Gershwin, and each room has a private bath. As well as instructions in Pilates, the facility has a collection of Lucas's personal artifacts, which should be sufficient compensation for the cost of admission. Lucasfilm Research Library. The Lucas Research Library, a 2-story edifice that stores a collection of references for film, television, and theater projects, is another one of the ranch's most remarkable structures. The library holds the Paramount Studios Research Collection as well as the Universal Studios Collection, which should appeal to any Lucas fan. Military history and weapons, apparel, wildlife, especially unusual insects, and a big geography section with titles like Inca Ruins and Jungle Park are self-explanatory. There are 35,000 books in the collection, as well as 700 file drawers housing images and paperwork. This installation utilized bookshelves fashioned from an abandoned bridge made of old-growth redwood. The main edifice of the library is topped by a leaded glass dome. George Lucas's Vineyard. On top of having an advanced production facility, Skywalker Ranch also includes a vineyard that is fully operational and spread around the property's grounds. Scott McLeod has been in charge of the vineyard for more than 2 decades, and after the grapes are harvested, they are sent to Francis Ford Coppola's winery, where they are bottled and made into a magnificent vintage. The rancher's gift shop sells special bottles of the wine that are only available there. A killer movie theater. Is it possible for the Star Wars developer to have a fully operating and armed combat station production studio without including one of the most well-maintained and technologically advanced movie theaters as its focal point? The Stag Theater is a 300-seat venue in Skywalker Ranch that many producers and directors use as a testing ground for their films before finalizing the final mix. The Stag is equipped with a 31,000-watt sound system that includes 10 subwoofers and 24 surround sound speakers. In the unlikely event that you choose to watch the movie in the Stag Theater, you can be confident that it will be one of the most technically flawless cinema experiences you have ever had. Sound Production Facility. While Skywalker Ranch is home to a vineyard and a bed and breakfast, it is most known as a sound recording and production studio. The sound for The Last Jedi was created at Skywalker Ranch, and the process of recreating the audio for Leia's phone call to Luke from A New Hope is plain fascinating to see and listen to. The original tape was actually re-recorded by the engineers before being dragged through the dirt at Skywalker Ranch. In the following stages, the engineers crumpled and crushed it, put it in water, rubbed rocks on it, distressed it, and then strapped it to the back of a car and drove around. For bands, the ranch also can be used to record their album, although studio time will be expensive, so be prepared to fork over a significant sum of money. All of the LucasArts games are hidden inside. If you grew up in the 1990s, you'll no doubt recall the LucasArts logo playing before the beginning of most of your favorite video games. Exploring the inner chambers of Skywalker Ranch will reveal an incredible collection of concept art, designs, and the game files for all of their previous games. If you have the opportunity, you should do so. Video game creator Tim Schafer visited Skywalker Ranch while remastering Day of the Tentacle and discovered a flat file containing all of the original art for the game. Can you imagine what kind of video game secrets they have hidden away at Skywalker Research and Development? Star Wars models at the ranch. Skywalker Ranch is home to several of the original ship models from the Star Wars movies, which you can get a peek of when visiting. The ranch's main home isn't open to the public, but there are plenty of private tours available that take visitors through the vast Victorian, which contains cabinets full of actual AT-AT walkers and models of the TIE fighters, among other things. It is not only the main home where you will locate Star Wars stuff. In addition, George Lucas has one of the crystal skulls from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, as well as one of the whips used by Indiana Jones. So there you have it. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Until next time.